the True Real Estate 911 podcast with Lisa Treu. Lisa will share up-to-date real estate information with you that you need to know.
Welcome to True Real Estate 911. It's Brian Mudd with your local real estate pro, Lisa Treu, with a 5-step process on today's show to buying a home. If you get these 5 steps right, you're going to be set up for maximum success. And Lisa, she's going to bring it all to you. Now, before we get started on today's show, if you're not already there, go to TrueRealEstate911.com. That's TrueRealEstate911.com. And of course, if you need a real estate resource, whether you're buying, selling, or if you just want more information, you have questions, the Treu's ready to help you 7 days a week at 561-972-8326. That's 561-972-8326. Lisa, one of the most overlooked aspects of the entire real estate process, I believe, is buying. Because so often people think that the real estate agent doesn't necessarily make near as much difference as they really do. And you see buyer errors every day.
You know, I was meeting with somebody last night and they were telling me that they had found a dream home a couple of years ago, and due to poor advice, they ended up not getting that dream home. It was completely inexperienced by the agent of giving them poor advice. And we see this all the time, and it's not just buying the home, it's getting through the challenges that come along and making sure that you are competitively represented so that all of those challenges are handled in a way that you're happy with and satisfied with.
One of the biggest mistakes that I've seen over the course of time is that people don't realize that until the closing paperwork has been signed, the deal isn't done.
Right.
And so let's get started with the 5 steps to buying a home. Step 1, getting pre-approved. Let's talk about the intricacies of that seemingly innocent enough process.
Yes, there's a difference between pre-qualified and pre-approved. And many people think they have a pre-approval, and really what they have is a pre-qualification. They call up their local bank, they give them what their income is, what expenses that they have, what debts they have, and they get a letter a few minutes later saying, great, you're our premium buyer and here's what you can buy. They haven't looked at tax returns, they haven't pulled credit, they haven't checked pay stubs to make sure that that income is not bonused, making sure that is it a base income, it all matters. And so really what you need to do before you ever step into a property is to have a proper pre-approval, number 1. And number 2, to have it by someone that is respected in the industry. So if you go up against multiple offers, which still happens in certain price ranges, that the agent that has the listing will be excited about that deal versus looking at it and going, oh my gosh, this bank is a nightmare.
Because you want to have the credibility to be able to close, and the expectation by the people that you're buying that property from that they're going to get to the closing table without the runaround that you're talking about.
And also with the least amount of headaches that are possible. Many banks have a reputation for missing closing dates. It's just normal for them. And it's not normal for anyone else in the transaction. It's not normal for the seller who's packed and ready to go and often waiting to close on their new home. It's not normal for the buyer who's also ready to move into their new home. Movers have been organized. They're living out of boxes at this point. And it is important to make sure that the lender that you have has a greatest chance of closing and closing on time. I really wish that they had like the airlines have, which is the on-time rating.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be great if you could say, what percentage of the time does the lender actually close? And so when we recommend lenders, there's a reason. The number one reason we recommend the lenders we recommend is because of their reputation, number 1, and their results, number 2, because when they say they can do something, they can.
The fall-through rate has been upwards of 40% at times in recent years, right? Largely due to this problem.
The fall-through rate is purely of someone not doing a proper pre-approval, just looking at it on its surface. And I mean, honestly, I could do that. Somebody could tell me their income and their debts, and I could say, yep, you can get that loan. That is not what you need. You need a very deep level process. You need to provide documents. And the other thing that does is that sometimes there are errors that need to be fixed. Maybe there's something on your credit report you didn't even know it was there. If you start this process early, you have time to fix it and still buy your home in the time frame that you planned on.
All right, pre-approvals, not pre-qualifications, with a lender that has a great track record for meeting its timelines and getting you to the closing table.